Hello, we'll start in a minute. Um, don't forget to leave your name, and if you have a question, you can start writing them so I can answer them before we start the review. Okay, let's start. Hi. Okay, so today we will talk about fat-soluble vitamins. Let me go to the screen, make this bigger so you can see it better. I don't know. Okay, so there are 4 fat-soluble vitamins, right? I memorized them. It's like ADEK. I don't know. ADEK, ADEK. That worked for me. There are total 13 vitamins, the essential vitamins, and 9 of them are fat-soluble vitamins and 4 of them are fat-soluble vitamins and 9 of them are water-soluble vitamins. Okay, vitamins. So, I don't know if you guys heard the word organic before in like chemistry term. So if anything has, oh, did I not change the screen? Let's change the screen so you have the PowerPoint. Uh, that's not it. Cool. Okay, now you have the PowerPoint slide. Sorry. Yeah, so I don't know if you're familiar with the word organic in chemistry term, but hi, Lindsay. But if the chemical structure of anything have carbon, we say it's organic, and vitamins have carbon in it, so they are organic. So they can go bad if we heat them, or we don't want to go into too much detail. But vitamins are essential, and we need to consume them through food or supplement. So, mm, like I said, because they are organic, they can degrade, degradation. They can degrade if we cook them, or if they are in alkaline substance or light or air, it can all destroy the vitamins. So the best way to consume or eat as much vitamins is through eating fresh vegetables and fruits. But sometimes we need to cook. So what's the best cooking method? Do you remember this question? No, we don't have the answer. The best cooking methods will be like bleaching it. So we boiling for a long time, it will make the vitamins to leak out and be destroyed. So bleaching it, like boiling it for a really small amount of time, maybe microwaving using small amount of water, and maybe stir frying on a high heat for a short amount of time. That will preserve the vitamin the most. Okay, so those are our 13 vitamins. You will have to know all of them. So just get to know them, be familiar with them. ADEC, the fat soluble vitamins. So they get I guess the biggest difference between the fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins is that fat soluble vitamins get transported and stored through the lipid in our body. So I don't know if you remember, Dr. Wengren said that when we eat salad, and there will be some fat soluble vitamins in it, and if our salad dressing contains some healthy fat, that actually boosts the absorption of fat soluble vitamins. So it is important to have a little bit of lipid or fat in our diet so that we can absorb all these good vitamins. However, another difference between fat and water soluble vitamins is that water soluble vitamins, except vitamin B12, it has a limited amount of storage, so it goes out through urine, like urination. But the fat soluble vitamins can get stored a lot, and when it gets stored too much, it gets toxic to our body. So we usually don't have a problem if we only consume the fat soluble vitamins through food, but if we happen to eat way too much vitamin supplements or way too many pills or something, then that's when we usually worry about. And I think we're gonna go over that in a little bit. Okay, you probably want to know all these functions of vitamins. We will go over them. You don't have to, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you need to memorize every single of them, but you probably want to be familiar with it. I usually think the water soluble vitamins are associated with like the metabolism in our body. It helps as we make ATPs and energy, stuff like that. And fat soluble vitamins are more associated with immune function, right here, and bone health and growth and development and stuff like that. Oh, and vitamin K for blood clotting. But so I don't know. You probably want to just be familiar with it. Hi Mindy. So she asked if I can explain the pro-oxidant effect. Also, will you go over high doses of vitamin C? Pro-oxidant. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what, Mindy, what you mean by pro-oxidant. You mean like oxidation agent and stuff like that? Let me Google it really quick. Pro-oxidant. Oh, yeah, so that's what I figure. So pro-oxidant is something that causes oxidative damages by reacting with other stuff like lipid. Um, so vitamin C is antioxidant, and I guess there are other vitamins that are reducing agents and that can become pro-oxidant. I don't think we talked about antioxidant, but we didn't go into other vitamins and pro-oxidant and stuff like that. Let's see what vitamins are pro-oxidant. Came to here. Okay, Emily said that she's here to hear clarification and re-itinerate in my mind. Good, so you're here to review. Awesome. Taylor is also here to review. Okay, so Mindy, I think you're mainly talking about vitamin C and pro-oxidant effects of it, I guess. So we're gonna talk about the antioxidant and stuff in a little bit, and then after we cover what we covered in the class, maybe we can discuss a little bit about pro-oxidant. So let's see what we can discuss about. But okay, oh, antioxidant here. So how they work. So we watched this YouTube video in the class, right? I felt like this was a pretty good video that explains the complicate steps in simple animation. So in the video, we saw oxidizing agent, free radical, and antioxidant. So oxidizing agent means that anything that comes in and it removes one electron from atoms or molecules. So just memorize it as it removes an electron. And the atoms or molecules have electrons around them, like the Earth has a moon around itself. So the electrons, um, electrons are there, and certain atoms needs to have certain numbers of electrons to stay stable. So it's, I guess it's something like we have Earth and Moon was revolving around the Earth, and one day the Moon is gone, then suddenly it's not, something is out of balance and something will happen, right? So something like that, when oxidizing agent comes in and take away the electron from the atom or a molecule, it is not a good thing. And then those atoms or molecule become free radical, and it wants to get their electrons back to stay stable. So where does it get those electrons from? It gets it from other atoms and molecules, and it starts to damage the cells around it. So it damages our body. So that's not good, and it can cause cancer or all those scary diseases. But antioxidant, so vitamin E, vitamin C, those are antioxidants. Antioxidant has ability to give away those electrons. You can think it as it has like an extra electron, and even if it gives it away to atoms or molecule that became unstable, antioxidant can stay um, it can stay relatively stable, so that it prevents the free radical from damaging our cell. Did it make sense? Um, let's see if I have any. Okay, so Taylor helped me out. She said, prooxidant is opposite from an antioxidant in that they are able to cause oxidative damage, where an antioxidant prevents such damage. I hope that helps. Thank you. Yeah, so that's what I thought, but I'm not sure how that's related with vitamin C, because vitamin C is antioxidant. It's not prooxidant, but let's see. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so antioxidant works like that. It protects all our DNA and protein and lipid be not damaged from this crazy free radicals that's now not stable, because the oxidizing agent came to take away their electron. So the main key here is that oxidizing agent, whatever that is not good for our health. And so that's one of the reason why fast food and like processed food are not good for our health, is because it increases risk to have those free radicals in our body. And then another key that we need to remember is the antioxidant is a preventative. It has a preventative role to protect from the free radical. Okay, bioavailability. So, like the vitamins in supplement and vitamins that we find in the food, they have the same chemical structures. However, the bioavailability of like how how much our body can actually use can be different, depends on the situation. So the different situations are listed here. So first is when our GI tract is not in healthy condition. So if we have like some kind of bowel disease in our GI tract that damages the bile on that small intestine, and it's not in a good condition to absorb the nutrient, right? So then the bioavailability of the vitamin will decrease. Also, like I said earlier, if we have fat in the food, then it enhances the absorption of fat soluble vitamins, so it increases the bioavailability. And sources, for example, calcium, we see spinach has a lot of calcium. However, we cannot absorb or use all of those calcium from spinach. Our body uses calcium from milk way better than the calcium in spinach. So there's differences in bioavailability. The last thing is competition. So vitamin C and iron, they compete in our body. They have I think they use same transporter or something in our body. So while vitamin C is getting transported, iron cannot be absorbed, and then when and vice versa. So you know what? No, sorry. I was confused. Vitamin C and iron, they enhance each other. So it's recommended to eat something that has a lot of iron with vitamin C to enhance the absorption. However, if you eat calcium and iron together, it inhibits the absorption. So you will see in the vitamin supplements that if calcium is higher, you will see the iron level will be lower. And if iron level is higher, the calcium level is lower. And it's advised to take calcium pill and iron pill separately so that you can have the best bioavailability. Okay, sorry, I was confused there. Okay, so which graph is the best graph? So this graph, it's just saying that better vitamins that we eat, better it is that we'll be healthier. And this one it says like we'll be healthier when we eat more vitamins. However, as we eat more and more, the concentration goes higher, the the effectiveness will decrease. And this one says if we don't eat enough, that's bad. So more we eat is better until the certain point. And then if we eat way too much, then now it's worse. Which one is the correct one? Remember? The third one. Yeah. So this is the exactly same graph but upside down. So the risk of getting whatever the deficiency of the vitamin is higher when we don't eat enough certain vitamins, right? How and then as we eat more of them, the risk goes down. And then if we have when we have an adequate amount, we are fine, we are healthy. However, if we eat way too much, more than the tolerable upper level intake, remember UI, upper level intake. Is it? Yeah, it's UL. Sorry, the upper level recommendation. If we eat more than that, then now we have the risk of the adverse effects, and it can be toxic to our body. True or false? FDA prohibits the distribution of dietary supplements above the upper limits, not upper level, upper limit set by the DRIs. Is it true or false? Does FDA regulates them and prohibits if there's way too much certain vitamins in certain supplement? The answer is no, they don't. That's why we as a consumer need to be educated and know what we need. Also, we need to be careful not to eat way too much, not to take way too much vitamins through dietary supplements. This is just an example that she showed in the class. Okay, so this is like a review sheet that you want to read it through and then try to memorize it before your test. I'm not gonna go through all of them because it's boring. So you will just have to read it. I don't think you need to memorize all of them. You just need to know that, like, you need to know the key things. So I will go over those key things for the rest of the with the rest of the slides. So you'll probably memorize. You will need to memorize those key function and what happens if we don't have enough or if we have too much of it, and what's the best food source for this vitamin. But you don't have to memorize every single thing of this, but you want to be familiar with that. I don't memorize all of them either, so. Okay. So where can we find A, D, E, K vitamins? So oil, fruit, vegetable, dairy, grain, and protein. We will go over more of that. So we will start with, well, actually, we're still just reviewing all the vitamins. So, vitamin A, highlights. I guess these are something that she kind of want you to know, that you can distinguish between A, D, E, K. So, vitamin A is something that if we eat too much, that can be toxic, especially if it's in retinoid form. But in beta carotene form, it's not toxic, it will just turn you orange. And we have the picture of it later, right? Sorry. Taylor said false. Good job. I see your comments like 10 seconds after. Like whatever I say right now, you will hear it a 10 seconds later. Whatever you type, I will say it 10 seconds later. So there's like a 10 seconds lag. So I didn't see the comments right away, but thank you. Okay, vitamin D. So cholesterol in our skin, when it's exposed to the UV light from the sun, that's how we synthesize vitamin D. However, she said that Logan is way too far in north, so we probably don't get enough vitamin D, and in that case, vitamin D supplements may be necessary. Vitamin E has antioxidant function. Vitamin K, every time I think of vitamin K, first thing I think of is its blood clotting function. And it's just interesting fact here that when babies are born, they get this vitamin K shot to prevent possible, like, in case they might have a brain bleed, that babies don't have vitamin K when they're born, so they get this shot to prevent that. If it's just interesting fact to help you memorize it. Okay, vitamin A, vision. So she said in the class that the book talks about visual cycle, so it's something it's worth to go back and read before the test. So do that, make sure you do that. And then protein synthesis and cell differentiation. So vitamin A has something to do with the epithelial cells. Epithelial cells are like the skin of the cell, the outside of the cell. Also, she talked about Accutane, the medication you can get to treat the acne. And she talked about how she took Accutane, and then she had this dry mouth and stuff like that. So those are the toxicity that you can experience if you eat way too much vitamin A. Vitamin A helps you with immunity, and carotenoids are precursor. So precursor means it's not vitamin A yet, but it's ready to be vitamin A. So these are the precursor of vitamin A that we consume from food. Remember, these red ones are important ones, so remember to memorize it. So vitamin A, we can find it in dark green veggies or yellow-orange veggies. Also, we can find it in animal source. So animal source is the one. Um, so retinoids will be found in animal source, and in vegetables we will find carotenoids. Okay, when we don't have enough vitamin A, we will get night blindness. So you won't see as well when it's dark. Also, gerothalmia. I don't know how to say that, but you will also have total blindness if you don't have vitamin A for a long time. Keratinization. Your skin gets like it gets hard, and you will get all this like pimple like if you don't have enough vitamin A. Okay. By vitamin A toxicity, if we eat way too much. Acute means in short amount of time. So if we don't eat vitamin A for enough for short amount of time, these are the symptoms that you will find. However, it becomes if you don't eat vitamin A enough for long period of time, these are something that you will experience. Um, so remember from the all those pictures earlier? Anyway, vitamin A and D kind of works together in the bone formation and stuff. So we'll talk about that more when we do vitamin D in a few minutes. Okay, this person became orange. Vitamin D, also known as calciferol. You want to know what it's also known as. So memorize that. We need vitamin D to absorb calcium better. So 80%, 10% versus 80%. If we have vitamin D, we absorb calcium way better. That's why milk is fortified with vitamin D. Also, it helps with the bone formation, helps with the blood system, helps with blood pressure. So it regulates the blood pressure better. We talked reset immunity already, and other old things. Interesting depression, right? Just a side story that my friend went to talk to a doctor because she felt depressed, and doctor actually prescribed her with vitamin D supplement because the doctor thought that she lives in Utah, she doesn't have enough vitamin D, and maybe vitamin D supplement will help with her depression. So just a side story. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that it's made from cholesterol in our body. Or it's a lipid, right? We learned about it. So in our skin, it gets stored and it's in D3 form. So here you see pre-vitamin D3 right here, right? And then, so it is in active form when it's D3, and when it goes to liver, and then it becomes 25 hydroxy vitamin D3. You don't need to memorize this name, I'm just saying it. And then when it goes to liver, now it's finally activated and become 125 dihydroxy vitamin 3. You just need to know that it's stored in skin, and well, it's made from cholesterol. When it meets the UV lights from sun, it gets stored in our skin, and then when it goes to liver, it transforms to 25 form, and then when it's in kidney, now it is activated. So kidney and liver is important to in formation of active vitamin D. So these are all the functions of calcium. It's pretty important, right? We will learn about calcium later. But like I said, if we don't have vitamin D, um, calcium doesn't get absorbed as well. Also, vitamin D influences on the blood levels of calcium. So we need a certain amount of calcium in our blood right here to do all these functions that we saw here, to all these functions. So if we don't have enough calcium in our blood, that's pretty bad. So our parathyroid glands, it it makes so to have the right level of calcium, parathyroid glands stimulates the calcium removal from our bones. Also, vitamin D stimulates the removal of calcium from bones, and it stimulates the absorption of calcium from our small intestine. So if we don't have vitamin D, only parathyroid glands will be activated, and we will take more calcium from our bone, and our bone will be softened and weaker. How and but because we don't have vitamin D acting, we will not increase our absorption of calcium from our food. Does it make sense? So if we don't have enough vitamin D, that's why we can have osteoporosis, which is like with the bone, like spongy like bone. Here you go. This is the picture of the spongy like bone. This osteomalacia just means that it's soft bone. Also, our bone gets uh, I guess cropped. It's called the rickets. But if you see like O, like the alphabet O looking leg right here, that's rickets, and that happens if we don't have enough vitamin D. Where do you get it? From sun, like we said. Also, we can get it from the milk and or fortified food. Also, we can get it from supplement if we need more. Okay, you can look that over. Oh, it's already 8. So we talked about this already. Just know that Logan is way up in north, that we don't get enough sun exposure or UV light exposure. That may be something that she will test you on the exam. That's not on the the reading. Okay, so it is recommended to be on sun for about 5 to 15 minutes. Unprotected means no sunscreen. But the dermatologists disagree with the recommendation. So they say take supplement instead of being on sun for 5 to 15 minutes, because that increase the skin cancer risk. So you can choose. There's 2 different recommendations to have enough vitamin D. Okay, we talked about all of that. Let's go to vitamin E, also known as alpha tocopherol. Alpha tocopherol. You need to know this name also for vitamin E. Its main function is antioxidant, like I said. Also, it helps with Alzheimer's disease, because we think the Alzheimer's disease is from like damaged cell in our brain and stuff like that. So it helps prevent that or recover a little bit. I guess there's more research going on that. Also, vitamin E is an anticoagulant, means that it doesn't make blood clot. So if you eat too much vitamin E and you get hurt inside or outside and start bleeding, you might not, the bleeding might not stop as fast as it should. Okay, so this is how vitamin E works as antioxidant right here. You see this vitamin E. So when this free radical comes in and I want my electron bag, and they go all crazy, and they go they go to here, 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 try to get their electrons back and damage all those lipids right here. Instead of that, vitamin E comes in here and then it donates the electron and stabilize this free radical. Do you see there's a green one here? And now it's not free radical anymore. It's no longer destructive. I guess it is still free radical, but it's not. It's no longer destructive and it doesn't damage the cells. So that's how it works. Mainly, vitamin E can be found in oil, wheat germ oil, also avocado, and Americans don't get enough vitamin E. So deficiency. So if you have something called cystic fibrosis, it's like a thick mucus cell that gets lined in your body that then it interferes with the absorption, fat absorption, and vitamin E is a fat soluble vitamin, so you automatically get vitamin E deficiency. And if you have vitamin E deficiency, you might have nerve damage. If you eat way too much, then like I said, you might have excessive bleeding when you get hurt. That's it. Okay, vitamin K. Is it the last one? Yes, it is the last one. It's also known as, okay, let's see if I can pronounce this, phylloquinone and menaquinone. If you see quinone, that's vitamin K. And it is coagulation, so it's opposite from vitamin E. It helps with blood clotting. I don't know if you need to know this, but Coumadin and warfarin, this is a common blood thinner medication. Some people need to be on this because some reason their body just clots somewhere in the body and then it blocks the blood vessel and it's dangerous. So they take this regularly. But if you eat something that's high in vitamin K while you take this, then it can interfere with the medication. So you need to just watch out for it. But the doctors, they regulate, they adjust your medication dose. Anyway, it's just side story. So your liver makes the clotting factors. To do that, you need the vitamin K to do it. And so if you have enough vitamin K and you get hurt like this lady here, then this fibrin looking, it stops bleeding. Okay, these are just sources of vitamin K that you can look at it. I mentioned this earlier, so I won't talk about it. We mentioned this also. Cystic fibrosis, like you see here, the mucus lining, it interferes with the fat absorption. So you have to eat a lot of fat and then you only absorb a little bit of it. Okay, case study, we didn't talk about this, so I'm not gonna go over that, right? We didn't talk about it. I don't know if she will do that tomorrow in the class. If she does, we will go over it. If not, and if you still am interested, I can still go over it. So please let me know if you want to go over that stuff. Okay, that's all I have. Any questions? Okay, hold on, Mindy. So, high dose of vitamin C. So, I don't know. Vitamin C cannot be. It's harder to be. It's harder to have toxicity of high level of vitamin C because it's water soluble vitamins and it gets excreted readily. So it's really hard to have way too much doses of vitamin C. But I think the recommendation is 1,000 unit of vitamin C or something. That's the upper limit right now. And if vitamin C through food, you will not be able to get a toxicity, but maybe vitamin C through supplement that can be. But it's not something that people worry about a lot because you can't really get toxicity over it. Hopefully I answered you that question. And vitamin C is an antioxidant, so you will see in a lot of processed food that vitamin C is included in forms of citric, some kind of ascorbic acid. So to help to in the hope that the processed because processed food will give you higher risk of having free radicals in your body. So vitamin C maybe can help prevent that. So you will see that in the processed food, but that's all I have. Hope that answered your question. If you have more questions, let me know. Thank you. Bye.